Welcome to this step-by-step watercolour beginners landscape tutorial. Let's get started. Derwent kindly sent me some of their Inktense paper, 300 grams, 100% cotton paper. More details about the paper and the materials I'm using can be found in the description below. I'm also going to have fun using Derwent's Technique brushes. You can see there's a variety of brushes creating different sort of effects and techniques. So I'll be getting into that later. So I'm also using Derwent's Inktense Paint Pan Studio set, which dry permanently but behave just like watercolour. So I'm starting off here with mid ultramarine and a little bit of bright blue. So I'm using the flat synthetic brush to mix the paints, and they're quite bright, beautiful colours. So I'm also going to mix the navy blue, which is this colour here. It almost reminds me of a Paynes grey, an artist Paynes grey, which is kind of a blue grey. If you notice, I put some washi tape around the border to create a nice white border, and it really does sort of present your work nicely if you don't decide to frame it. So mixing up a little bit more of this navy blue, and the more you work these colours, the more paint you get. So I'm starting off with the foam brush. So I'm using clean water and applying it gently with the foam brush. And what I quite like about this brush is it holds a lot of water, but also because of the sort of precise edge it has, you can sort of cut into tricky geometric areas and shapes. So that's quite nice. So as always, I always thoroughly wet the paper, and this paper is cold pressed and it does seem to be behaving quite nicely, and you can see there the texture of the paper. So if you are a beginner, always mix up plenty of paint, and this is a wet in wet technique. So the surface is wet and the paint is wet, and I'm using the bright blue and the mid ultramarine, and I'll leave some gaps for the clouds. So it's a really nice sort of sky to start with. So I've used a little bit of the navy blue top right and in the middle here, and I'm also tilting to get the paint moving. So when you are a beginner in watercolour, landscapes are quite nice to paint, especially skies. So if you are a beginner, it's a great way of starting off, especially sort of practicing wet in wet. So I've added some more navy blue here. So it's quite a strong dark colour, and I'm painting damp into wet with the flat brush, making the colours darker at the top to create depth in the painting, and smaller marks using the bright blue here, slightly paler, a little bit more wet into wet as I go into the middle of the sky. And as you can see, the marks, because they're smaller, they look further away. And then towards the horizon, I've got a very dilute mid ultramarine here, and just sort of blending it into the horizon so it looks much further away. I always used to say to my students, paint a sky a day. It really does build up your confidence in watercolour. So here I am mixing up a little bit of violet into the navy blue, and I'm painting this pretty much wet into wet on the horizon with the flat brush. So this is distant land. I'm not using a photograph here. I'm painting from my imagination. It's a perfect way, if you are a beginner, not to worry about the finished result or trying to copy a painting. Just use your imagination and practice the techniques. So I'm actually added Hooker's green into this violet and navy blue to blend it. And now I mix a little bit of that Hooker's green into the mid ultramarine to paint a more blue-green colour for the distant fields. I'm painting this now wet on dry. If you notice, I've left a little gap on the horizon so the land doesn't run into the paint below. If you don't like that, just let your painting dry and then paint the distant fields. So I've added a little bit of Hooker's green into the violet and navy blue, and just sort of blending that darker colour into the middle ground. And then I'm adding sun yellow here in the middle ground going into the foreground using that flat brush. Painting wet on dry, but pushing that sun yellow into that blue-green colour above. Adding a little bit of Hooker's green to that sun yellow so you get a lovely bright green suitable for coming into the foreground. So a little bit more of the Hooker's green with Ionian green as well. which is a darker green, and just sort of wetting the sort of foreground area here and blending those greens in the foreground. Mixing up some of the racing green with the mango yellow colour, which is like a cadmium yellow, and just mixing those up, you get a beautiful sort of lovely luscious green. And I'm painting this damp into damp in the foreground with the flat brush. I'm swapping now to the rigger. If you can see, I'm going across all those greens there just to pick up the colour. So make sure it's quite creamy so your paint doesn't run too much. So this is damp into damp using the hooker's green and the Ionian green and the racing green, and just sort of painting these grasses here, varying the sort of sizes and the angles, and just sort of quickly painting. And it's a great way of practicing different techniques as a beginner. So mixing in those racing green with the violet there, with a touch of the navy blue and the hooker's green. I'm just going for it, and just sort of painting the distant land now, damp into damp with the rigger. You can see you can get some precise kind of details there, and they're kind of like trees. And when you work damp into damp, you can see there you get fuzzy edges. So it doesn't run too much like it would if the paper was wet or the paint was really wet. You've got more control, but it looks much further away and it creates depth in your painting. And I'm using Derwent's Inktense pencil here. It's a sea blue colour, and I'm going to use it on the damp paper. And the pigment on the pencil feels very buttery. You get a lot of pigment. If you don't have Inktense pencils, don't worry. You can use watercolour pencils. And if you don't have any watercolour pencils, you can just paint wet on dry, or even damp into damp, a sort of dark blue-green colour. You could use ultramarine with a little bit of yellow. So as you can see here, I'm just sketching in some leaves and stems, etc., to create the details and kind of texture in the foreground. And remember, you can do this wet on dry if you're not comfortable painting sort of damp into damp at this stage. And painting wet on dry gives you a lot more control. So I'm just sort of continuing on, adding a few more details. I'm using a green now just to vary the colours. I'm mixing up some of the fuchsia, and you can use opera rose or permanent rose, with the mid ultramarine using the flat brush. You get a lovely sort of violet colour. And I wanted to sort of have some flowers in the foreground, so I'm actually spattering it with the rigger, and as you can see, I've actually used some paper towel to mask out my sky and fields. This creates lots of yummy textures here in the foreground. If you're not sure about spattering, you can stipple the marks in using the rigger or a small round brush. So that's what I'm doing here, just adding a few little marks here and there to create the look of wildflowers. And I'm going to allow my painting to dry. I thought it'd be quite nice to paint some birds. Now I did have a few marks in my sky, which were quite random from the spatter or from the painting earlier. So I'm painting little V shapes with my rigger with a dilute navy blue to create the look of those birds there, wet on dry in the sky. And it just adds some life to your painting. And I'm just using that similar colour, the navy blue, with a tiny touch of that fuchsia, or you could use violet. And I'm painting wet on dry some winter trees along the tree line there. I do find it easier painting trees and fiddly things either sideways or upside down. So if you're struggling with trees, especially winter trees, maybe try that. It really does help. I'm using my rigger brush and I'm just adding a little bit of colour at the bottom of the trees there to create some shading, using a little bit of that navy blue wet on dry. So if you're a beginner, painting sort of small little scenes like this really is a great introduction to watercolour. So my stems and leaves in the foreground really did dry back quite pale because I painted them damp into damp. So now I am painting wet on dry using the racing green. That's a lovely dark green, and a little bit of natural brown, which is like a burnt umber. So if you don't have any of these colours, please check out the description because I will have alternative colours. And as you can see here, I'm just painting lots of grasses and leaves and stems in the foreground. It really creates depth in the painting. I'm just adding a little bit more detail to these distant winter trees here and there, wet on dry, using the rigger. It's a kind of a watered down navy blue with a pinch of the racing green. So it's quite a nice grey colour. And again, adding a little bit of dark at the bottom of the trees here and there. Again, going back into the foreground here, adding a few more darks with the racing green with a pinch of the navy blue, just to create some more depth here, more detail. And what's quite nice is because the Inktense dries permanently, you don't disturb the paint underneath. I'm removing the washi tape to reveal a lovely white border. And here is the finished painting. It's simple, but it's quite beautiful. I love the kind of almost pastel shades of these Inktense paints. If you enjoyed this tutorial, why not think about joining my Patreon membership? You will get access to my weekly exclusive tutorials and downloadable line drawings. Details about the membership can be found in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.